what is astrology? And why do people use the stars and the planets and the luminaries? And what is it all about? And why is it considered to be the oldest practice of human beings that we can remember, as far back as we can go? Gazing up into the magical, mystical night sky, observing all the different planetary bodies and the luminaries, the sun and the moon, and their movement, their cycles, their patterns, and what's occurring on Earth during these various aspects that are happening in the sky, where you would have Venus entering certain zodiac constellations and noticing on Earth things starting to shift. The same with Mercury entering certain constellations, and the communication systems are affected. That the positions of the planets and the luminaries and the stars has a direct effect on what we experience and what we're moved to give our awareness and attention to, and what we're collectively experiencing. Because everything in the universe, everything in existence, inner and outer, is one energy. So everything affects everything else through vibration, through frequency, through resonance. And this is the mystery of the existence that we live in. But the planets that are in our solar system, that are our neighbors, and our sun and moon and the stars and everything in existence is vibrating at a particular frequency, has a particular resonance. And through the millennia of observation of the natural sky, we came to understand the various qualities, effects, resonance, vibration of each planet and the luminaries and the stars. And this information has been passed down and passed down. And a lot of it is through intuition, through our natural, innate connection to the cosmos, that we are cosmic beings. And we have forgotten who we really are. That when we came down into this world, we were given a mind full of ideas that have nothing to do with the truth. And we were told, this is who you are. So until we wake up to the fact that the mind within us is not who we are, and that we're part of this vast cosmic reality, astrology has played a role in assisting people in reaching to that, in reaching to their cosmic being, their cosmic consciousness. And so astrology to me is really actually a spiritual tradition. You could even call it a spiritual science, since it is based on observation of the most purest kind, just observing nature as it is. And ironically, today, all the systems of astrology out there, tropical and Vedic, the modern astrology, are all completely out of sync with nature. When you cast a chart using a tropical astrology calculator, the chart that it creates for you is not at all an accurate map of the sky at the moment when you were born. It's distorted. It's a man-made system. They removed the 13th constellation, Ophiuchus, at the galactic center, and made all the constellations 30 degrees, meaning that the sun takes 30 days to travel through each constellation, when in nature, the constellations are all different sizes And so therefore the sun can take anywhere up to 45 days to transit a constellation. So this homogenized, man-made, distorted, out of sync system of astrology known as tropical astrology is actually supporting the distortion of our consciousness, not the natural, awake experience of nature and the moment itself. It's throwing our minds out of sync, out of time, out of alignment with nature. It's a very effective way to create a psychological perception of reality that has nothing to do with actual reality. And because we're such powerful creators, we then can create that reality, that false reality, that distorted reality, and think in the mind, oh, so that means this system of astrology is true. It's accurate. Look, here's the effects. But in my understanding and my experience, we create those effects. It's the other way around. When we believe something psychologically, when you believe I'm a Taurus, then you will unconsciously behave like a Taurus. And then that validates that idea. But that doesn't mean that you are a Taurus, because if you have calculated your chart and your sun sign based on tropical or Vedic, it will not be accurate to where the sun actually was in the sky, what constellation it was in when you were born. And then you come in face to face with reality, with the reality of nature, where the sun actually was in the physical sky when you were born. And it will most likely be in Aries, the sign before Taurus, because the tropical zodiac is at least 25 degrees ahead of nature, because it's out of sync. It's calculating itself at a faster rate than actual reality is unfolding in. So in this day and age, astrology is actually being used unknowingly by most astrologers to keep people in a distorted, out of sync state. But this is starting to change. So if you're using astrology, if you've been using it and you've been using tropical or Vedic, this is important information. Because what's the point in calculating a chart for something important or for a person if the chart has absolutely no relation to the actual sky, the planets, the luminaries, the stars, which is what astrology is. Astrology is listening to the stars in their accurate natural positions. So therefore we have thousands, possibly millions of people practicing astrology that is not astrology at all. It has no bearing on the actual stars and the positions and the zodiac signs, and it's leaving out the constellation of Ophiuchus at the galactic center. And the galactic center is the most mysterious, most mystical, and powerful place, in my experience, of the zodiac. It's where the black hole of our galaxy exists. And my understanding is that it's where our cosmic being connects with cosmic reality, is through this portal on the inside, in our inner cosmos, and on the outside, through our actual physical cosmos. So it's a very important place in our galaxy. Everything in our galaxy is spinning around this black hole at the center of the Milky Way, including us. So to leave that out of the zodiac a constellation that is so intrinsically part of our galaxy and is on the ecliptic that our sun is passing through, which is what creates our zodiac. To leave this out can't be accidental. It has to be done methodically in order to disconnect us from cosmic consciousness and to make us dependent on the ideologies of man and all his religions. So, to also bring our awareness, astrology can be used now with this understanding. And now that some great new true sidereal astrologers like Athenchamente of Mastering the Zodiac have created chart calculators on their websites that you can see your true chart, where everything actually was when you were born. And you can also see a representation of where all the planets and luminaries actually are right now. And start to use astrology to understand the cosmic weather, to learn about these planets, about their effects, and to become in tune with the cosmos, and to learn how to benefit and to work in harmony with the cosmos, and to step out of this false mind, this matrix that has been given to us that we don't need, because we all, as unique expressions of existence, we all have access to the truth within ourselves. And we all have the memory and the ability to access the truth of who we are. If we can take our attention back, our energy back, our consciousness back, our perception back, and go beyond, which basically to me means that you believe nothing in the programmed mind has anything to do with you, that it's all just ideas created by mankind and society, and that it's been created to keep us disconnected from our cosmic consciousness, from our cosmic nature, so that we will be able to be easily used and directed and controlled. But this is the play of life, because even the forces that are directing and controlling and manipulating and deceiving, the forces of violence and greed and domination in the world, are part of this existence, are divine at the center of their being. But they're serving the mind, they're serving the ego, the false ideas, the man-made ideas. They're not serving nature or true nature. So astrology is, to me, a way of having your own direct connection with the cosmos. You get to see the synchronicity, as above, so below, and that what we're moved to do in any given moment isn't necessarily our idea or coming from us, but more coming through us from the cosmos itself and the play that's going on in the sky. To start in a very practical way with astrology is just to follow the moon, the movement of the moon through the constellations, and watch your emotions, watch your moods. And you can do that by using the chart calculator on my website, cosmicmystics.club. You can type in today's date and time and your location, and you can see where the moon is. And approximately every 2.5 to 3.5 days, the moon moves, depending on which constellation it's in. It takes longer to move through Pisces and Virgo, which are very large constellations. But you can track where the moon is and just watch and observe your own experience. This is the art of astrology, the science of astrology. And on Mastering the Zodiac, Athen Chimente's website, he has, and also on his YouTube channel, a weekly True Sidereal, True to the Sky astrology forecast where he very eloquently and generously gives the forecast for the week. And you can start to learn just through listening about all the various planets and their positions and their relationships with each other, and start to tune in to this frequency that's always there, that's always available, but that gives a greater perspective on your own human experience and the reality that you find yourself in. It gives you the bigger picture of what's going on Earth. And I feel that's a very essential and helpful thing to have in life in terms of timing. You know, if you see that a certain planet or the moon is in a certain sign, say the moon is in Aries, that you might be a little bit more impatient, you might be a little bit more aggressive, or you might feel the polarity point of Libra. You might feel to be very social. You might be focused on your relationships. So there's a lot of ways to interpret. That is the art of astrology itself, is the perception of the astrologer. So as you start to tune in to the cosmos, you have your own unique perception and your own unique way of translating the language of the sky, of the cosmos. And nobody knows the capacities that we have within us until we explore them, until we step into the unknown and see what happens. So I encourage you, if you have an interest, curiosity, if you want to go deeper into your cosmic nature, to start tuning in to True Sidereal Astrology. There are quite a few now True Sidereal astrologers, nothing compared to tropical and Vedic astrologers, a very tiny percent. But they are starting to grow, and this awareness is increasing as more and more people who want to be in tune with nature and in tune with the real cosmos, not the man-made version, start to realize that their whole belief system has been given to them and is not connected with the natural sky at all. So there you have it. The revelations and the human experience never end. Thanks for joining me. Look forward to coming back and talking to you soon.